Hello, this is Mr. Hirsch, and I'm here with the rest of Team 8-2 teachers, and we're here to tell you a little bit about our school year so far and what to expect this year with our school. This is Mr. Trone, who teaches social studies. Mr. Guy is our math teacher. Mr. Reck is our ELA teacher. Ms. Tracy is our learning support teacher, and I am the science teacher on our team. So we thought we'd ask each other a few questions that you may want to know, and here we go. So, Mr. Guy, how is our learning management system a little bit different than last year? How are we delivering lessons to our students this year?
So our content this year is going to be all through Schoology, and that's for any student who is doing distance learning option or in class. So we are all uploading all of our work. Some of us are making videos for every day, but that will all be in Schoology that the students can access. And that's going to be labeled in there by week and then by day. So you'll see exactly each day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, what the student is supposed to do and what the expectations are in order for them to finish the work for that day. And that's, if you are a distance learner, you've probably already been going through that, but even if you're a student coming in here, let's say, for example, you are sick or absent one day, if you are still capable of doing work on the day that you are out, you can go right into Schoology, go to the lesson for that day, and you can go ahead and complete the work that we're expecting you to do for that day. Additionally, if there is a scenario where the school ends up being shut down and we all go to distance learning, everybody will go right into that Schoology and see exactly the same sort of assignments that they've been doing in here, and so that transition should be nice and smooth if that does happen.
What's nice is, sorry to interrupt, but as parents, all of us have asked our kids, like, hey, what'd you do today in school? And usually we get, not a whole lot. But now as parents, it's kind of cool. You can go on Schoology as well and pull up each day, each class, and actually see what your child's doing that day, see what kind of work they have. So it's kind of a nice benefit this year, too.
Yeah.
At this time, in order for a parent to view the Schoology, they would have to ask the student to use their username and password. And that should be done, and it's a great insight into what the students are doing. Thanks, guys. So, Mr. Trone, tell us a little bit about due dates and submitting assignments to Schoology, and then quite possibly, what if a student turns an assignment in very late?
Okay, so in Schoology, the due date, if the due date is met on time, you are just turning it into Schoology, whichever format the teacher is using. If it is late work, it's a two-step process. Step number one, you need to email the teacher to make sure that they know that you're turning it in late, otherwise they won't check, and then actually turning it into Schoology. So you just got to make sure you send an appropriate email to the teacher notifying them of the late work being turned in, and that should take care of that.
Absolutely. Great. So, Mr. Reck, how can a parent keep track of what assignments their child has completed or hasn't completed, or their grades in general?
Yeah, so Schoology is always a good place to start for all of this each day, but then we also have Sapphire, like we've had for years now. So encourage parents to check their child's grades as often as you can. One thing to look for when you're in Sapphire is the letter I for an assignment, which means incomplete. And that's a good indication that the student still needs to turn that in, has that missing work. Like Mr. Trone said, just send a quick email, appropriate email, to let the teacher know when it is turned in. Or any kind of zero, obviously, is a warning sign on Sapphire as well. But checking Sapphire, checking their grades on a fairly regular basis is always a good idea to help your kiddos out.
And as a parent, hopefully you have an account to Sapphire that you can check your students or your kids' grades. But if not, you can contact our office and they'll help you get set one up. Miss Tracy, middle school is definitely difficult, whether you're here at school or at home distance learning, and contact is important. So can you give us some advice on contacting teachers and staying in touch and communicating?
Yes. If you need to contact any of us at any time, you can get onto the school website and access our emails. That is probably the quickest way to get a hold of us. We will probably be back with you in about 24 hours. Give us about a day to respond. Also, our guidance counselor, Ms. Bortner, you can access her email on there as well, and she will get back to you.
And if a phone conversation is warranted, the best way to set it up is through email, so we can both find a good time that works for everybody's schedules.
So, Mr. Hirsch, a question for you.
Yes.
How is the day different compared to last year due to the COVID-19 protocols?
Well, our days sure are different this year. For one thing, the length of the day got changed, and our classes are down to 40 minutes long to accommodate an earlier release time. That earlier release time allows the busing to work out better and have less students on the buses. So they added some more bus runs. And obviously, as you can see in this video, we're all wearing masks or face shields at all times while we're in the building. That is going very well this first week of school. Students are doing great, and we are making sure to give the students some mask breaks. Every day at lunch, we are attempting to go outside, weather permitting, and the students then can social distance themselves and take their masks off while they eat their lunch. And then they usually have about 30 minutes to play after they eat and hang out with their friends. In addition to that, during a third period time, a few days a week, we take them outside as well for a mask break. And all of us teachers are aware of how difficult it can be to wear a mask for extended periods of time. So any time that we get, we're giving the kids a chance to social distance themselves away from each other and take a limited mask break. Lunch is a little different too. So instead of sitting in the cafeteria as large groups, we're now either going outside, or if we have to stay inside, we're eating in the classroom in small groups of around 13 people. We haven't had any inclement weather that has made us do that yet, but I'm sure this winter there's going to be chances that we're going to be doing that. All in all, the mask situation has been going very well, in my opinion, and I think the rest of you all would agree.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with how the students have done with the math so far.
So just to wrap things up, if you have any specific questions, please contact any one of us. And this is a very different year with different procedures, and there's going to be some bumps in the road that we're figuring out as we go. But we are looking forward to being here in school and educating your child the best that they can get. So thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to Team A2.